Alistair Asher. He's partner at Allen Overy, and he's head of its Global Financial Institutions Group. So, Alistair, you actually advise your clients, who are Britain's big banks, on how to deal with this regulation. So, first of all, what's your conclusion? What's your reaction to what we've heard?
Well, I've had about 30 seconds to read this.
You and me both.
I think the first thing that strikes me is 2019.
Yeah.
That's a long time to implement it, and I think that's the recognition by the government of the cost of implementing these changes, the structural cost of implementing the firewalls for retail business. We knew it was going to be big. They've come up with a figure of 4 to 7 billion here. Mm-hmm. Who knows what it really is, because the devil's in the detail on that.
But this 2019 is significant. We had seen some speculation in the press that 2015 would be the first date at which they would start to implement. So
Yeah.
that could still be right.
That could still be right.
And then they complete them by 2019.
That's right.
But that's a recognition that this is perhaps the worst timing that you could possibly imagine, because the banks are weak, the economy is weak, there's concern that they're not lending enough to consumers and businesses, and then to implement these reforms that cost so much money at this time, or to at least even talk about them, is seen as a danger.
Well, but I think that the government's recognising the danger by allowing this time. You know, there's been pressure to implement even stricter controls, stricter changes immediately within the coalition. So it is something that at least there is until 2019 to implement these changes.
Okay, we just got a new headline I want to just draw your attention to here. It's saying that 1/6 to 1/3 of the UK's banks are going to fall within this ring fence
Right.
parameter. So they're going to be the ones that are going to have to ring fence their retail operations. Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah, that's one third would sound more than 1/6. But there's a big difference.
1/6 to 1/3 of UK banks' balance sheets. Okay.
But there's a big difference between those two things. And
Yeah,
this
there
is, again, the devil is in the detail. Any lawyer will tell you it's all about definitions. So what is retail banking? And that's what we were waiting to see. The interim report had some very high-level definitions of what would be in and what would be outside the ring fence.
So this is something that you're going to be looking at even
Very
more closely. Now, the other thing about the ring fence is that there's some speculation that there will be some flexibility as to how that's applied, because if you just simply go in and draw these arbitrary ring fences in all the institutions, well, these institutions are very different, aren't they?
They are, and it's also a question, as I said, of what is retail banking. The interim report had 3 categories. There was what must be in the ring fence, what must not be in the ring fence, and what may be in the ring fence. So there's a category in the middle, and mortgages, for example, was in that middle category. So mortgages on the interim report could fall in retail banking or could fall outside it.
And as far as competition is concerned, another part of this report was to make sure that there's enough competition, and that result looks as predicted.
Well, I haven't actually seen anything in these headlines.
They're going to get Lloyd's to we don't know this actually for certain, but the speculation was exactly 600 branches and no more. We haven't seen that headline yet. You're absolutely
what's clear,
correct.
And they were always very clear that what they wanted was a strong challenger, and they identified existing challenges.
Yes.
Now, what may be more interesting is making it easier for those challengers to compete on products.
Okay.
And one of the big questions is, have we seen the end of free banking?
Okay, and just
current
overall, in conclusion, do you think there's a danger here that the UK is going to be moving too quickly towards doing this? Because, of course, back when Mervyn King made the statement saying that this needed to happen, he said other countries are going to have to do the same thing as well, and they're not.
No other countries are doing it. And I hope that danger is avoided. There is a big prize to be had, which is that the UK stays best in class for banking.
Okay, thank you so much for helping us digest that. We know you're going to be looking at it with a fine-tooth comb. Okay, Alistair Asher, he's partner at Allen Overy.